slide presentation, followed by a short Q&A, if time permit, within the allocated 15 minutes time slot. And each audience will post your questions, and in the Facebook chats, our team will attempt to pick up as much relevant and group this question for a later moderated sessions. Please help us to stay more engaged and enjoying the whole sessions by participating with more chats, emoji, times up throughout the webinars. With that, let me just move on. We put the emoji. I think I see a lot of people already very proactive doing a chat just now. I think you can help us by doing some times up and emoji in the Facebook and likes as well. So this will keep the session more entertaining. So today's speakers, I think, let me just go through and welcome the guest speakers. This is the agenda for today's. I think we are roughly about 3 right now. We're going to have the speech by our president, Mr. TK Tan. Later, at the closing speech, we're going to have Dato' Ng Wan Ping, CEO of MDEC, to join us at a later phase. And we also have all our guest speakers. 3 of them is actually, one of them, Natalie, representing Google's in replacement of Russ, who are having some medical condition. Thank you, Natalie, all the way calling in from Australia. And I know there's a time zone difference. Thank you very much for staying on. And we have Selvan Logan calling in from Singapore. Selvan is from Microsoft. And of course, we have Ragulan Pati calling from Zoom. And last but not least, we have Leping calling from Logitech Malaysia. So I will do a quick introductions for each one of them as they come in for each slot, right? Each of presentation slot. Without any ado, let me just move on to our welcome speech by our President of Internet Alliance Malaysia. TK, over to you.
Hi, am I on stage now?
Yes, you are.
Oh, okay. Thank you. A bit nervous, first time doing this. A very good afternoon to all our speakers. Thanks, Sunny, for the introduction. We have speakers from Google, Microsoft, and Zoom, and Logitech. And we also very welcome to all the guests, as well as fellow IA members. A very good afternoon to all of you. My name is TK Tan. I'm the CEO of Kinetics. Kinetics provides IT services and software solutions. And we also have a brand called Webnik that operates one of the largest reseller platform for digital service in Southeast Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not used video conferencing during the MCO, I suppose you are missing a big part in your business. Never before we could put all the top brands of video conferencing sharing the same stage today in Malaysia, talking about what's best suitable for you in your business. So fellow members, fellow Malaysian, please get ready with your questions for our speakers and still stay through the end. The webinar today is actually a response to a digital forum that IA conducted with its member 2 weeks ago. So our members unanimously wants to do something to help Malaysia best in this MCO timing, of course, in a digital way. Let me introduce a bit what is IA. Sorry. Okay. IA actually started 10 years ago when a bunch of geeks who fiercely compete with each other in the hosting services and other related services finally meet and wanting to network, want to share knowledge and share experience together. Today, I'm actually very proud of our IA members' achievement. Without mentioning names, we have the leading brands for hostings and domain name service in Southeast Asia. We also have the largest IDC, the top ISPs, all the leading payment gateway providers, leading e-commerce solution providers, logistics service providers, software as a service, data analytics, AIs, and etc. So despite we have less than 100 members, our members actually touch base with tens of thousands of businesses and millions of consumers. So we feel we want to help in empowering digital economy in Malaysia. We believe in gathering our strength as an association. We can serve as a platform to advocate for digital entrepreneurs, to collaborate with all the economic stakeholders, and to develop much needed talents for the digital economy in Malaysia. Okay, Sunny, can we move on the slide?
Sure.
Yeah. So I've actually passed on this. On the next one, please. Okay, I'd like to thank MDEC for giving us the support for today's webinar. Of course, all the collaborative partners that have helped us in the past, all the activities that we run throughout the past 10 years. We have even some overseas partners, like you can see from China. Some of these associations are very huge, with thousands of members. And of course, not forgetting our neighboring Logitech from Singapore, MDA, Managing MNCP, CTEC, and MRCA. Okay, last but not least, I would like to thank all my committee members, community managers. Without them, today this show would not be a success. They are all volunteers, and I salute for their dedication and community work. IA will continue to bring you more engaging contents to help the business community to stay ahead with MCO and post-MCO. We believe these are a way to give back to the community. As I said earlier, please feel free to raise questions. Stay to the end because we have Dato' Ng Wan Peng, COO of MDEC, for her closing remarks. Okay, the last one. Okay, IA is not just about business. We treasure friendships. We also have all good fun together. So with that, I thank you for all and stay tuned. Yeah, thank you, Sunny.
Thank you, TK, for the warm welcome speech. And next, we'll move on to our first speakers. She's Natalie Low, G Suite specialist from Google ANZ. She's actually calling on behalf of us all the way from Australia. I'm going to hand the floor to Natalie.
Thanks so much, Sunny. Thanks, TK. Can you hear me okay? And can everyone see my screen?
I think it's loading. There's probably about 15-second delay sometime. Yeah.
Okay. Once you say yes, I'm good to go.
Yes, please.
Okay, awesome. Thank you to everyone for joining the call, and for all of those on live stream, hello from Sydney. It's probably very unfamiliar or not so familiar, very familiar to some. I run the ANZ business here in G Suite. I've been at Google Cloud for over 2 years now. So been working quite closely with Russ. Russ is on medical leave for today, so I am actually filling in for him, but I do love Singapore, and welcome. Google Meet, I think you've probably seen a lot of press around us lately. There's been a lot that's come out as of today as well around Google Meet being free for everyone. So really today, I'm really excited to talk to you about how Google Meet can help your employees stay connected, particularly from a video meeting perspective for everyone and from everywhere as well. So let's deep dive and take a look. If you're not familiar with Google Meet really is our collaborative platform. It contains not only Meet, Chat, and Drive, but it also has a portion of it that is focused on editing tools. There is also a part of it, a third part, which is identity and security, which makes it really one-in-all collaboration. You heard TK speaking about how collaborative we are. Working from home is not easy, and I think we have launched Google Meet as part of it. So it really is to help us collaborate better together. So yesterday, or not yesterday, but a couple of weeks ago or months ago here, at least in Sydney, we all went to work. And today, home is almost our new place of work. And it's really interesting. I mean, in Australia, a lot of customers that I'm speaking to, they're at home. They've been home for about 8 weeks now. They're homeschooling their kids. I know Singapore's going through their second wave, so I really, really feel for you guys. But it is what it is. And I must say, the new classroom, the new boardroom is our new home. And our new home is becoming the new classroom and the new boardroom. It is everything. And that's why it's really important that, for example, the likes of Google Meet is here to help enable you continue to work. And I guess working from home, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Companies are actually saving on average $11,000 per person when employees are letting their employees spend half the time working from home. And I think it's actually very fair to say that moving forward, once we get over this whole COVID situation, it probably will become quite the norm for a lot of enterprise customers as well as corporate customers that may have never had that work from home environment, but are actually starting to look at embedding that into their workplace. Not only that, when people work from home, companies can actually also reduce the carbon footprint by limiting commuting and work travel. And I know that in Australia specifically, we've seen a massive improvement in air quality as a result of that. So at Google, we've been deeply invested in this business, particularly for more than a decade. And video conferencing really has been a critical component of our success as a global company. So we've pioneered video meeting with Hangouts as well to enable that to all our consumers. We've learnt that video culture is critical to effective collaboration, but we've also learnt that it's really, really important for offices worldwide as well to collaborate and be able to connect with each other. As an extra note, I mentioned earlier, you've probably seen a lot of press. Today, we actually announced that we're allowing for Google Meet to be embedded for everyone and everywhere, and that's coming very, very shortly. But just to give people on the call a little bit of a sense, we're doing about 3 billion minutes of video a day. And we've actually got over 25,000 video-enabled rooms. So that's just to give you a little bit of background as to how quickly we are growing and how this is kind of creeping into the workforce. In the past few weeks, we've also seen the value of investment in infrastructure. So during COVID particularly, we witnessed an unprecedented increase in demand for video conferencing. And like my other colleagues on the call as well, you'll probably be saying the same thing. Google's secure. Our infrastructure is reliable, global infrastructure, and it's enabled us to actually scale to demand. And we continue to deliver on consistently high quality performance for our Meet customers. Just to give you a little bit of background as well, the IT manager at Burger King is obviously a very, very big fan of our Hangouts Meet. He said the speech quality is good and it's helpful to be able to see every participant. This is extremely helpful these days. All our internal meetings are on Hangouts Meet right now as we are all working from home. And this is probably not the only customer that's saying this. We've got lots of customers that are also giving us the same feedback, and it's really, really nice to hear. So let's deep dive and take a tour. Welcome to the Google Meet. This is what Google Meet looks like on any type of device, particularly from your phone. This is what you'll see. If I was to send you a calendar invite today and you were to click into a call, this is how it would present itself. You can see in there that it's got a weekly review. You can see in there that you can present and join as well. And there's also a meeting code that you can enter into. It just makes connecting with coworkers so easy, just with the tap of a meeting link from your calendar or your phone, and you're right in. I like to dial in sometimes if I'm on the road and I don't necessarily want to have my video on. I will dial in using a local number, and the nice thing about it is it types in the PIN code for me, so I don't have to go in and type in the PIN code. The other thing that you can do with Meet is that it just makes screen sharing so easy. There are two ways to share. There are no wires required for either on web or iOS or Android devices. You can join a meeting and click the Present Now button, as you can see, or you can go to g.co/present, and the entire meeting ID will present itself, and automatically you are in and presenting your screen. So this is definitely a best practice at Google. We tend to present a fair bit almost every day, so it just makes that much more, it brings a lot more simplicity to meetings as well. Now, this is probably one of the best features that have that have released actually over the past week. We made a blog post about this a couple of days ago, and I must say it has been very successful. So the adaptive layout function allows for greater inclusivity of people in a meeting, but not only that, you can customize your layout. So if you're working from home and there's a large group at the office, you can change the focus to focus on that room rather than a presentation slide. In the next coming weeks, we're also launching some new features to customer requests. So one of them is the Brady Bunch tiled layout, so you can see more people at once. And already some of our customers are embedded with this, and they're starting to see up to 16 to 20 people in one go. The other one is the background blur. So currently right now you can see pretty much into my house, but if I didn't want that, or if I'm in an environment where there's lots of people, we are implementing a background blur so that you can focus solely on the person that you're speaking to, just to remove distractions. The other one is live closed captions. So this is really great if you've got people on the call with sort of hearing disabilities or impairments. It uses Google's AI to do speech to text, and it shows real-time captions of your meeting. So really, really great. I first turned it on and I started getting really distracted by it because all you do is you read the captions. But in a large group meeting or a boardroom, it's very, very helpful in that instance if you've got someone sitting up the back that may not necessarily be able to hear, but then they can read along. So I think it's very fair to say that Meet works from anything from a one-to-one with your manager or your peer, to anything from a team meeting to company all hands. At Google, we have all hands fairly often, and it actually allows for us to hold up to 250 participants concurrently each time with no add-on required. The ability to live stream as well. So like we are doing now on YouTube, our Google Meet also allows the ability to add a live stream. You can see from the GIF in the presentation deck that just by clicking on live stream, it generates a link that people automatically click onto and then they can live stream. It is up to 100,000 people, viewers that can join in. And it just enables the ability for people that are traveling to join in. If they're traveling, if they're limited on resources, they can just click in and they're not necessarily needing to sit at a desk to view. If I continue on, and this is probably one of the best features as well, which is recording meetings to watch or share later. So a great use case around this for my team specifically is we've generated a whole bunch of recorded meetings around just how to do simple things, work functions, create sort of onboarding decks, systems. We get people to record, and then if a new joiner starts out in our team, we share that with them, and they're pretty much ready to go just by recording meetings. It is extremely, extremely helpful, particularly in an instance where you've got lots of people joining the one call that may not necessarily be able to attend. You can record and then share with them later on as well. So as we've discussed, Meet is built on Google's resilient, scalable global network and infrastructure. It's engineered to accommodate peak demand. And I think it really is, during a time like now, it's a testament to our ability to handle future growth as well. It is by far, I have not had any issues. My customers have not had any issues, but by leveraging our global infrastructure, it just means that we're able to meet the demands more quickly, more efficiently, and we're able to satisfy that demand as well. We've got on-site reliability engineers that are trained to find and address issues like this, particularly with Google Cloud services like Meet, before they even arise. And in the event of a disruption, we're able to recover as quickly as possible as well. One of the other nice things with Meet, I must say, is that it just works, and it works with Gmail, Calendar, Docs, Slides, and all the editor functions as well. So in a meeting, you know, if we're in a call and I suddenly share my screen and I want to jump in onto a doc, it just works. It works with my Gmail as well. I can join a call from there. I can join from chat. It just works. I don't know how much more I need to say that, but you can see that it works as well in any major browser. So Chrome OS, Safari, Firefox. We've got extensive integrations as well with third-party video conferencing tools. So you can join your Meet calls from Cisco, Polycom, and other hardware as well, and we can share more details around that. This is probably a loaded slide, so I won't touch too much into this, but there are some key differentiators of Meet particularly around the security and privacy. It is all encrypted. There's a whole bunch that we can share with you, but I won't be going into this today. The other part of it is Google Chat. So I've had recently, particularly in ANZ, we've had a lot of requests around Google Chat. And I must say Google Chat is something that is very similar in the sense that it has enabled workforces to connect even when working remotely from home today. So whether you're in a one-on-one chat or you want to, create a dedicated group to a project that you're working on, it is the most easiest way to collaborate with your team in an organized way. And the nice thing about it is that we have embedded functions into it so that you can share docs, sheets, and slides just in that one chat. So it's some features that are for this. Search, so you can search all your messages and rooms particularly, and I'll show you some of this later. There are some custom workflows that you can run scripts on, app script, docs and Drive integration, as I mentioned, being able to share in that one chat. It allows for intelligent scheduling. So we've got a chatbot that allows for you to have a conversation with them, and it uses our machine learning to understand, what it is you're asking. So I can say, hey, Google, can you find me a time for this person? And just as I've done that, it's activated my Google. Can you find a meeting time between me and this other person? And it will do that automatically for me. So it's really, really smart and works really nicely in terms of scheduling, just to, once again, drive that efficiency. And the other part of it is the enterprise readiness. So with Vault, DLP, data loss prevention, and rich admin controls, it will meet all compliance standards as well. So this is what chat kind of looks like from a mobile device. On a desktop, it looks a little bit more different, but it's still got that same function and feature. But you can have quick, informal, private conversations within your organization. And then you can also have team chats as well, so in groups. So this one you can see there's different people in a chat group, and what they've done is they've shared a presentation with people within the chat. So we use this a fair bit, and it's nice when you've got so many different projects on the go, different chat groups for different types of teams as well. So marketing functions, you might have one region-based, you might have one that's specific to certain customers. You can create as many groups as you like. The rooms is a nice one. So it's a little bit different to a group. And my understanding of a room is that it allows for greater collaboration with more people embedded into them. So they can also share videos in there, they can share images, all sorts of files and documents as well. And since we've launched chat, I must say I've used search a whole lot more in chat. And the reason for it is because it searches really nicely. And the backbone of Google really has been driven by our search abilities. So being able to filter through threads, being able to filter through specific keywords against a specific person that you might have had that chat with. If you're looking for a specific file or document, you can search all of that as well within the chat. And the other nice thing is it tends to work seamlessly with other apps. So if you've got several third-party tools, it will connect with that and it will help you manage all of it in the one place as well, which is quite nice. And last but not least, integrated video chat with Google Meet. So you can elevate a text conversation in a video meeting with your team as well. So the amount of times that I jump onto a chat, we're chatting about something, and 5 minutes down the track, it's like, hey, let's just get on a call. I can literally click the Meet function, which is an icon at the bottom, and straight away it generates a meeting link. And if I click into that and my other colleague clicks into it, we've started a video call already via Google Meet. So it's just nicely embedded together. So now we're moving on. I know that we're running a little bit short of time, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Essentially, we've got lots of meeting room abilities and devices that are fit for meeting rooms. So there you can see a Jamboard that's against the wall, which is our virtual whiteboard. And then we also have the hardware meeting kits as well. So Hangouts Meets hardware comes with a touch panel, a really nice box that sits on the table with a microphone embedded into it. So simple and easy to use as well. As you can see, we've got different ones. And then we also have a Chrome base that allows you to click into a meeting as well. So how to get started. If you do need any further information, the best link to click is to take note of this link, and I'll speak to Sunny to see if we can share that afterwards. But yeah, I hope today gave you a little bit more background into Google Meet. I know I kind of rushed through some of the features and functionality that we're here to embed you with, but I hope that during this time, you know, now that we are releasing it to everyone for free, literally everyone, stay tuned for that, test it out, try it out, give us your feedback. We are always here and we like to hear your feedback as well. So thank you very much for having me, and stay safe during this time. Thanks, everyone.
Her session, but anyway, I see some question was posted up, which is good. My advice is that please continue to type your question. Our moderators in our team will support to pick up those questions, and we probably will channel to Natalie towards the end part of the panel sessions. The next speakers I want to bring on is also Mr. Raghulan Pati. He's actually the financials. He's actually the Financial Services and Strategy Account at Zoom Asia Pacific, and calling all the way from Singapore. Okay, Raghulan, the floor is over to you. Thank you very much. You may want to share your screen.
Yeah, just one moment. Cool, I'm ready to go. Can you see me?
Yes.
And my presentation's all good?
Yep, loading up.
Okay, just tell me when I'm ready to go.
Yes, the floor is yours.
Okay, great. Thank you to the Malaysian Internet Alliance for inviting us. It's very nice to speak to everyone, and thank you to everyone in Malaysia for supporting Zoom. We've seen a huge uptick in usage in the country, obviously with current conditions, but we're very excited to work with a lot of SMEs as well as enterprises in Malaysia. Let me just go through a little bit about Zoom. I'll try not to keep it too exhaustive so we can get to some questions. So firstly, I think we're seeing some key trends here amongst enterprise communications globally. And some of these have really been accelerated just in the last 2 months. I think you know, many people are saying 2 or 3 years worth of digital transformation has happened in the last 2 or 3 months. And I think the culture of remote work is one that's definitely there. That's, I think, going to last long past this situation. The second thing is that video has now become critical infrastructure for companies. You know, large companies such as banks realizing they can run their business with people at home, but video is really critical to keep the business running. And also user experience really matters. I think one of the reasons why Zoom has been so successful is our CEO and our engineering team has a relentless focus on user experience. I mean, to be honest with you, there's been many solutions in the market for multiple decades now, and I think Zoom's focus on user experience is really what differentiated it. And also a couple of other things are security and business continuity. So security is always our most important job here at Zoom. And I'll talk through some of the things that we've introduced recently in some of our customers. And finally, we're also seeing a trend towards consolidation. Most companies will have multiple tools today, and you know, they have tools across different I guess use cases. So some will be for the external use case, some will be for you know, for meeting with partners and clients. Some will be for the internal use case. Some will be for you know, meeting rooms, for example, or telephony systems. And so we're seeing this move towards consolidation and using less software providers to try to bring the experience together. So we actually released Zoom 5.0 just in the last few days. So the biggest change that's come through that is security. We're on a 90-day program to focus on security, where we've frozen all other feature changes, and so that we focus wholly on security. And Zoom 5.0 has meant that now there's actually a security button in the client. through which you can do functions such as lock your meeting to new attendees. You can turn on a waiting room, and you can also control what participants do as a host, such as whether they can share their screen, chat, rename themselves, annotate shared content, etc. Zoom's overall goal is to deliver happiness, and I guess these are some of the things that we've seen from legacy approaches. And one of the main things about Zoom's solution that works is that it's a single, easy-to-use platform. It's 100% cloud native, although we do have hybrid solutions as well, which particularly enterprises might be interested in. And also global quality of service, mobile functionality. We always aim to have so that you can actually use Zoom anywhere at any time. So whether that's on your desktop, whether that's on your mobile phone, whether that's from a room, and we also offer APIs for people to develop solutions with Zoom as well. Just to talk through some of the global multinationals that use Zoom today. So everyone in the IT industry will be very aware of many of those names presented in front of us today. So these are the companies that use Zoom company-wide. I mean, HSBC uses it for 290,000 users globally, is what they released. But we've got Oracle using it, Dell using it, SAP. We've got lots of financial institutions, lots of pharmaceutical companies, and the world's leading tech companies as well who are using Zoom. So in short, what we aim to do is unify all communications, anywhere, anytime, any device, leverage current in-room systems. And we also, I want to point out, integrate very nicely with Microsoft Teams. We also integrate well with Google as well, and thank you for the presentation earlier, Natalie. And so what, and I think this is important because we like to work with other software providers as well as a complement. If you look at the overall Zoom platform, it's actually multiple things. So most people would be aware of the Zoom meetings. So that's the video meetings that you most likely run from your desktop. And attached with that is audio and maybe some of the chat functions. But we also have video webinars, which are used for presentations, for external meetings. And we also now have Zoom Phone as well. So Zoom Phone is both a soft phone on your mobile phone, as well as can be used as a PABX in the cloud effectively. So if you've got physical phones on your desk, that can be used with Zoom as well. Coming across the other side, we've also got Zoom Rooms. So this is software that's delivered so that you get the same Zoom experience inside a room. We work with third parties such as Logitech and Polycom and Dell and many others to offer that. We also have connectors, and the connectors allow us to use legacy or current infrastructure. That might be a Cisco or Polycom. And if you buy Zoom Rooms, you also get unlimited usage of digital signage and scheduling displays. And I'll go through that in a second. We also have APIs, the SDKs, and the app marketplace with over 200 integrations today. So I won't tell you too much about meetings because a lot of you probably would have used it so far, but up to 1,000 video participants. I guess the things that people love is the gallery view, where you can have 49 people on a single screen, thumbnails where you can see 49 people on a single screen, and you can scroll all the way through to all of the 1,000, which is unique to Zoom. The other thing also is that we've had virtual backgrounds for quite a while now, for multiple years, and we've also now got video virtual backgrounds as well. So you can actually have a video of your favorite beach, or a popular one is actually a video of an office, which is your background, so that it actually looks like you are in an office. And I can say that it fools many people quite often. The other thing also is audio conferencing. So we also integrate in with and offer audio conferencing as well, and we also integrate in with SIP connectivity as well. So video webinars, so we can have up to 10,000 attendees on video webinars or even more. We stream into Facebook as well as YouTube with integrations, and you can have up to 100 panelists. We also have things like polling and chat and Q&A, and we've got integrations with popular marketing tools such as Salesforce and Marketo. It's also very easy to schedule them. I apologize. It's hailing here in Singapore, so it's quite loud in the background. Zoom Phone, which I've gone through already, and this is a little bit about what chat looks like. So just going into Zoom Rooms, if you come into a room, you'll see the same buttons, which are very familiar to most people. So it's very easy to join a meeting. We say at Zoom, the three things we try to achieve with ease of use is to, the key things are to schedule and start a meeting and actually have a meeting with people able to join very easily as well. In the interest of time, I won't go through, I'll try to skip through a little bit of this, but we've got different Zoom rooms from very small rooms, which are sort of huddle rooms, all the way through to very large training rooms and board and conference rooms, as you can see here. We also have scheduling displays, so we find that a lot of companies are paying money for scheduling displays and want to be able to manage all their rooms. This is not just for a Zoom room, this is for any room. We actually provide the software for free if you buy one Zoom room, and then you can put this software on an inexpensive iPad or similar device, and then you can actually make rooms bookable. You can even put out floor plans and many other things as well. We also have digital signage built in as well, so you can actually configure in a way that you can manage all the digital signage throughout your whole company. So many banks, for example, are doing this to push messaging out to the branches, for example, and you can actually manage it per device. It doesn't have to be the entire one message going out to the whole company. So this is it's part of the whole platform of Zoom, and in terms of audio and video. A major thing that most people ask about is the Office 365 experience. So we integrate very closely with Office 365. Everything from the client, the Outlook client, all the way through to you can actually integrate into Microsoft Teams, so you can have the Zoom button for starting video within Microsoft Teams as well. And we know there's a lot of usage of Microsoft Teams during the last few months as well. Sorry, I covered value add to Office 365. That's my presentation for today. I'm going to keep it quite short because I wanted to give people some time to ask some questions. I'll stop sharing now.
Thank you. I think we can have a good one. I don't think we have much time for question. Maybe what I suggest is that for many of you to just continue to type your question, our moderator will gather it and we will share it later, right? With that, I want to say thank you, Raglan, for sharing from Zoom. Next speakers we have is actually coming from Microsoft. His name is Selvan Logan. He's actually all the way from Singapore as well. Let me just do a quick introductions. Okay. Hi, I'm going to bring you up. Can you see?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. So thank you for joining us today, and thank you. I think Singapore is it storming in Singapore right now, as what Raghu was saying?
Yes, pretty much. You're going to see the same background over here.
All right, good, cool. So anyway, thank you for joining, and I think we have the next agenda right on time, and please take us. Thank you. I'm going to load your slide.
Sure. Thank you so much. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So firstly, thanks to the Internet Alliance, thanks to the sponsors of the Alliance and the members as well. We really appreciate being for you folks to participate in this webinar, taking time out of your days to actually listen to us. Being in the SME space is probably the hardest thing to be in right now, given the COVID situation and the MCO that is there. We know that it is not easy, so we really appreciate the time that you're taking out to listen to us. My name is Selvan Loganathan. I'm what we call as a team specialist in Microsoft. I work with enterprise and government sector to help them utilize our products better in the sense of collaboration, and particularly in remote work. So today I'm going to be focusing on remote work in for the next 10 minutes or so. I want to walk you through the capabilities that exist in our product, Microsoft Teams. It really is the hub for teamwork, and it does many things in the context of the work that we do. As you know, this morning we actually announced a whole bunch of stats on the usage of Teams, and it has grown at about 75% in the last month, just from the use case that we see here, which is remote work. Teams does many things. One of them is, of course, meetings, and I'm going to be spending a large amount of time talking to you about that. But it also does chat, it does callings, it can replace your phone system as well in any part of the world. It can connect with your existing plans that you might have with your local telcos. But it also does file store, it does collaboration, you can edit on those files. It integrates really well within Office 365 applications that you might use, or even third-party applications that you might have, such as Workday and others. But as I said, let me focus on meetings for this session, and then I'll come back to the rest of the apps that is there. Firstly, there are two types of meetings. And when we look at virtual meetings, there's the team meeting, or the one-to-one meeting, the group meeting, the stand-up meetings, the breakout sessions, whatever you want to call it, whether it's internal or whether it's external. Team meetings can be done all within Teams. And it's free for external attendees to join as well. And you can schedule a meeting, have an ad hoc meeting, share your audio, share your video, share your screen, have multiple people present their videos across. It can be recorded. It's all cloud-based recording as well, and lives within the compliance and the security framework that is M365 or Microsoft Office 365. Along with that, from an external standpoint, you send them a join link, and they can click on a link, and they can join anytime, anywhere, any device. And I'll show you in a bit more detail how that experience looks like. And of course, the second type of meeting is live events or webinars, large webinars, broadcast meetings, town hall experiences, and so on. You could be doing a live broadcast, or you could record and stream a broadcast as well. And this is, again, from within the same hub or the same Teams application that is there. And you can share your audio, you can share your video, you can have constricted attendance, so that is, you can restrict the attendance to just your organization. You can open it out to an external organization. You could have Q&A, moderated Q&A. You could have attendee report, engagement reports that can help you with these webinars as well. You can have multiple cameras coming in from different locations that you can stream out. And from a capacity standpoint, live events, again, streams out of the box at about 10,000 concurrent users. You can stream up to 100,000 users as well, or you could connect them onto YouTube or Facebook too. Then, of course, with the Teams meetings, we have a concurrency of about 250 simultaneous participants that can share both audio, video, and screen. And of course, again, from a screen standpoint, we have multiple options. You could share your whole screen, just share a desktop, a view of an application, or you could actually present content formally as well. Okay, so let's look at the meeting invite. You could, like I said, you could schedule a meeting, and this is how a meeting invite would look like. So the top option there, if I show you what it is, so that allows you to join the meeting, the Teams meeting, from any browser, any Teams app that is either on an iOS, Android device, or from a Mac or a Linux desktop as well. And this allows for third parties to also connect in with the video and share their desktops too. The other option, of course, is to join via existing rooms, whether it's your legacy VTC systems, whether it's Polycom, whether it's Cisco, that you might already have in your premises, or if there's a third party that has these equipment, they can actually join the same meeting, the Teams meeting from that equipment as well. And then, of course, the third option is to just dial in. And then the dial-in numbers, we have dial-in numbers around the world. I'm illustrating a Malaysian number here. But if you have participants joining in from, say, in Australia in this case, you could have them connecting in from using a local dial-in number from there as well. So it gives you the ability to not just have the internal meeting with an audience that you know, but also reach out to your customers, to your partners, to your supply chain as well. So let me move into the apps here. From an app integration point of view, of course, living in Office 365, there is this native experience of the apps that's available in Office 365. As we know, most people have something to share within a meeting, whether it's content around a PowerPoint, whether it's content on an Excel file or a Word document, or it might be a custom application that you might have built. And all of them can be connected into Teams, either as native connectors or an integration that you might decide to build. That can all be done within Office 365 app integration. There's also the ability to co-author. And in this example that I'm showing you on the screen, you could be participating in a meeting where multiple users might be editing on the files at the same time as well. And then the experience of the broadcast. In the experience of the broadcast, again, this is using our Office 365 and Azure Fabric at the back end to help stream the services around the world. You could be sitting in your office today, which is really your homes, and you could say, hey, I want to do this broadcast to my customers to talk about my product or talk about the situation we are in. I want to engage my employees and talk to them more about the communications that that you might want to spread. And this can be done through Teams, and you send out your a link to your attendees, and they can watch through a web browser experience. And again, over here, we can embed features such as Q&A, moderated sessions. We could also have streaming of video as well. And you could even have transcription turned on, like in this example, where I'm also doing closed captioning in multiple different languages. And again, it uses the AI that Azure brings to automatically translate that you might be speaking in English or say Mandarin, and you could automatically close caption this to up to 6 different languages here, and you don't need any other equipment to do so. And this is really useful today as you work from home and you want to conduct webinars such as like this. You could actually use Teams live events to do that. And of course, at the end of this the event, you do get an engagement report to show you what the levels of engagement were and how to be better at this in the following times as well. Okay, moving on into from a meeting standpoint, devices is core to meetings as well. So we realize that there's multiple different ways to use the meetings. It could be built-in hardware facilities such as your web camera that's built into the PC, or your microphone, or you might use an external speakerphone from home. I know a lot of my colleagues prefer headsets as well. I personally prefer a speakerphone. It caters to different styles and needs. But on the left-hand side, we also have different examples of meeting room capability as well. So we have devices that are built in with Team Room system software. So if you did need to have a team room equipped that will connect to Teams, then you have the capability of having one of these options. And of course, on the right-hand side of this slide is the phones. If you want to run Teams as a phone system, you can do so as well, either as a soft phone that runs off your PC, Mac, or your mobile phone itself, where we have a soft phone UI, or you could actually have a physical phone as well. But all of this means nothing if we don't have the right framework in place around security and compliance. So we actually published a blog detailing more about our point of view on this. Needless to say, there is a whole emphasis around the privacy and security controls for video conferences as we all work from home. In fact, I think about privacy more as I work from home than in the office, because my home is by nature more private than the office is. So there are commitments around how we treat your data, where we store your data, and that is all documented quite well within the link that I will share later on. There's also the new threat right now where the cybersecurity threats have increased with the way that we are working from home, and the stress levels don't help to that as well. So defending against yourselves against these threats is also paramount too. So you need to look at not just the video controls, but you need to look at controls that allow you to, say, protect your identity in the first place. Are you the right person that's logging into the system? Have you turned on multiple factor authentication? Does your product allow you to do that? Is it built into the product? So consider all those factors as you look at video conferencing systems and allow you to protect yourself against these increased cybersecurity threats. Whilst video conferencing is almost ubiquitous, we need to look at security and privacy. But then again, I think we all need to actually look at ourselves a bit more carefully as well. One of the things that we've learned in remote working right now is take care of yourself. remember to take breaks. Remember to have that work-life balance. I know a lot of both myself and my colleagues and my customers, they're all working longer hours. And it's important to be checking in with these colleagues. We can't have the coffee chat anymore, and set time to actually have a discussion that's not business, that allows you to actually take the meetings framework that you have and apply it to the circumstances that you're in, and be mindful of it. So whilst you might have various options, Teams is a safe and secure platform. It's also free for in the current situation that we're in. So if you want to sign up to Teams, go to microsoft.com/teams, and you can actually sign up for Teams for free, and you'll see that a lot of the functions that I've shown you actually exist in that in that capability as well. And it does comply with the compliance standards that you might be looking for, or the privacy regulations that you're looking to apply to, or the security standards that you want to implement as well. And of course, you can add on multiple layers around it in terms of the feature sets that you desire over and above. But feel free to download Teams and sign up for free. So with that, thank you again. Thank you for your time here. Meetings is just one tool in our belt. Teams does a lot more. Office 365 is a whole framework. Again, we have offers for COVID that you can take part. Go to the web link that I have posted online, aka.ms/work-from-home guide. It gives you some tips and tricks that you can use, regardless of what tool set that you decide to use at the end of the day. Thank you, and over to you.
Wow, I think for the last two speakers, we really can hear Singapore is really storming this afternoon. It's very loud, yeah. But I guess please stay safe. And the next speaker we have, I think after listening to Natalie calling all the way from Australia, and two gentlemen calling all the way from Singapore, I think it's about time for us to bring our next speaker up, who will be calling in from Malaysia.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, I can't hear Sunny, or I can hear you, Kok Yong.
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Sure, I will share my. I just realized that I am the only Malaysian sharing on this session. Thank you, IA, for arranging this webinar for our SMB customer. Okay, I hope after this session, you will bring benefits to all of you. Hello, everyone. Apa khabar? Good day. It is my honor to be able to share Logitech VC live for the first time, the only VC hardware to share today. My name is Lei Hong. Okay, who exactly are we? Logitech is the most famous for our pointing device, such as mouse. I'm not sure if anyone knows which year our first mouse launched. It is 1982, actually 2 years before Apple Macintosh launched.
Hi, Lei Hong, you are sharing your presenter view. Can you click on display settings and change it, please? On the top.
On the top. Hang on there. Is it okay now?
Yes, yes, we can see it now.
Okay, over the years, Logitech has also broadened our portfolio to other products such as keyboard and pointers, and we have music categories. The brand is Jaybird and Ultimate Ears, gaming, home appliance, and finally video collaboration. As a company, we have three strong identities with R&D and innovation happening in the USA, and we also have in Asia Pacific, especially our manufacturing, and our headquarters is actually in Switzerland. So now you have some understanding of Logitech global reach, and we have our value global strategic partners like three software vendors that share now, Google, Microsoft, and Zoom, that actually elevate us turn into video collaboration division. You may not know that we actually launched our conference camp, and it's actually #1 in the market in 1998. And 5 years ago, we actually launched our video collaboration category. Part of this success is we actually bring Logitech heritage to this space by taking complicated technology, by making it simple to plug and play through USB, just like we do with our keyboard and mice. After all, Logitech built enterprise product at affordable price to help customers in mass deployment. In the past, why video conference is not picking up? I guess all of us know, video conferencing in the past is actually only for the high corporate customer.
Hi, Li Hong. Sorry to interrupt. You may want to put your mic a little bit closer to you. I think that is coming across very soft. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So in the past, why video conference is not picking up? Because of the high cost of investment, and it's only for MNC and also large corporate customer. And it's very complicated to set up. It requires IT support. It typically will take up 8 to 10 minutes. That is why the adoption is very, very low and it's not picking up. Future of video conferencing. Actually, the future is now. So it actually requires very flexible, to join meeting from any device like laptop, PC, now even smartphone. It is also easy to use, plug and play only. It must be cost effective to help mass deployment in the company. IT or user also looking for easy integrate with existing hardware, hence they do not require to purchase any new machine. Most importantly, it must bring seamless user experience. It will help to increase user adoption, and it require minimum or it doesn't require any IT support. So why video conference? Video conference actually help increase productivity, because current situation, we need to make any meetings, very short and frequent meeting anytime, anywhere. So compare with other traditional way of a meeting, video conference can be conducted through internet anytime, anywhere. And it also help to reduce travel expenses, especially for current pandemic situation. Everybody works from home, so it definitely help to save costs on that. It enable digital workforce. It also accelerates decision making. So for example, if you want to get approval instantly from your management, you can get them into this video conference, then you can get some consent or approval from them. It definitely improves customer experience and build client relationship, because it's actually face to face. You can see their facial expression and also body language. It improves teamwork. It makes communication effective. Last but not least, improve collaboration and also work-life balance. So let me bring you to Logitech VC portfolio. We have personal solution and also we have team solution for meeting rooms. Let me share the team solution first. I believe everyone wants to start a meeting, just a few seconds, connect with the team members, whether it's internal or external. Hence, when you just walk into the meeting room, you just want to sit down, relax, and start the meeting. Not like the first photo, all the colleagues or team members have to cuddle around and squeeze around the screen. How many hours can you stand, to do this meeting? And you will not have a great experience throughout the meeting. So we always say, don't cuddle, but huddle. Video conference have actually two ways. Either you bring your own device, or you can just walk in and tap into a meeting anytime. So Logitech has a complete portfolio that bring your own device method, meaning when you want to start a meeting, you just need to connect Logitech VC device to your laptop or PC for better audio and video experience. So the diagram actually show, from a capacity of meeting rooms and the participants. It actually can cater up from 4 participants up to auditorium level. User won't feel comfortable to learn all this complicated remote controller. With a single touch to join meeting, it will create happy experience for user to use. So as a result for these challenges, Logitech built Tap. User needs to just simply walk into a meeting room, just single touch to this meeting, and you can start a video meeting. So Logitech Tap complete this solution. This solution covers from small meeting rooms up to large boardroom. Let's talk about personal solution. So now working from home is a new normal, hence webcam and also headset become essential for all the user. You can still do face-to-face meeting via video conference. Great user experience is a key, and the smoothest of the entire meeting will create a happy user experience. Logitech headset and webcams has some audio and video improvement features like red light technology. When you are in the low light or bright light, right, it will actually adjust accordingly. And you will also improve video clarity, lighting, so that you always look good. These are some of the sample, that can actually help you, your employees to work from home. Our vision is to enable and help customer to enable all the video collaboration in any corner of the working space. These are some of our clientele in Malaysia and Southeast Asia. And if you have any question, you can actually come to me. This is my email address and my contact number. My slide is here. That's all. Over to you, Sunny.
Thank you, Lei Hong, for sharing. And I think we have come to the end of the first part of this webinar, which is the presentation area. I think what I'm going to bring everyone is that I'm going to bring back all the guests on the screen itself to for the next session, which we call the panelist session. I think many of you have posted a lot of questions. I'm sure my colleague have attempt to pick up. So I'm going to bring back all the guests here. Can we have first? Can we have Natalie back on screen? Hi, Natalie, back on screen. And we're going to have Ragulan back on screen. And also Selvan as well. And right, there you go. All right, I think Ragulan, you have, maybe you want to share a video? Yeah. Okay, so how are we going to do in this session? We're roughly about 20 minutes or so. I think there are a lot of questions which is somehow related or relevant. I think this is a time that before I kickstart, I think there are many questions while waiting for the question to pop on the screen here, which you're going to see in a short while. I'm going to ask maybe to let the panelists. I think we have first question coming in, right, from Mike Leong, right? Historically, I think organizations are always on iOS because of the open source nature of Google's. How has that changed now with the influx of Google in a big way, and what has been done to address the perceived security exposure? I guess this question is probably, Natalie, you want to take on these questions?
Yeah, sure. I don't actually have quite an answer for this. I'm not fully technical in that sense, but I think from a iOS, like the open source nature of Google, it really has. A lot of people have asked us about security exposures and sort of how we're doing to manage all of that. I think, we've got a white paper that it addresses a lot of this that is available. I think from an infrastructure perspective as well, we're heavily investing in this. So yeah, that's what I can comment on. I can try and find out further information, but I know that we are sort of working closely with our security team on this, and we do have a white paper that addresses this as well.
Right. Thank you, Natalie. Can you have the next questions? This question comes from David Senta. I think, can participants in a Google Meet video conference get to collaborate or annotate on the G Suite apps like Google Sheets?
Yeah, so in a video conference, if you are sharing your screen and you share that document, for example, a sheet with a colleague, and you both are working on it, you will be able to see that come through on Google Meet as well. Thank you. Can we have the next question? Still the Google question, I think, does Google Meet has an Outlook plugin? That is a very, very good question. I know that I think we've got an extension for it. I think you do need to get an extension for it. I don't think we plug straight in. Thank you. Next question, please. They're using, okay, I think this question for Raghulan. I think I'm using Zoom for the fitness class moment, very good. And it's good apps and I'm happy with Zoom. Great job. I think good feedback. Please keep up good work. I think this is rather than a comment than a question. Right?
Question, but thank you for the support.
Yeah, can I just check, is this your friend?
No, not that I know of.
Okay,
they will be my friends now, for sure.
Right. Okay, and then next question we have from Fatih Natira. I think how to add alternate hosts for webinar using Zoom. I think this is a question for you as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it. It's a little bit hard for me to explain visually right now, given that we're not on a Zoom. But perhaps we can take that one offline and we can connect and I can explain it offline. But you can have generally in webinars up to 99 people on the panel and thousands of people who are attendees.
Thank you. Yeah, I think the next question is pre-open. I think will the opponent bandwidth play a big role in ensuring the quality of the video? Maybe you want to, Selvan, you want to take on these questions? Is okay?
Yeah. Okay. I think that the quality of video really means that bandwidth does play a role, regardless of, I guess, in many cases, vendors. But it does depend. If your opponent isn't receiving video or isn't sending video, then you're going to have one-sided video anyway, so which is not a great experience. So yeah, it does play a role.
Right. Can I have a personal question here? Which part of Singapore are you? North, south, east, west? I think we hear thunderstorm on one side from the Microsoft, from your side, and we don't hear from Raghulan. So we want to know which part of storming is Singapore is happening.
I'm muting. I can hear the storms in between.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Next question, please. Yeah. Do you have the next questions? Okay. While waiting for next questions, maybe I'll just say this to the panelists, right? If there's a thought of mind of 3 criteria, if you are the owner of the company, if you want to select the best options, what will be the 3 top criteria in your mind? Maybe I'll just, each one will take one. Maybe we'll let the ladies, from a hardware perspective, right? Lei Hong, what do you think is the most important selection when it comes to selecting the right VC hardware? One answer.
I would say ease of use.
Ease of use.
Like via USB.
All right. So we have another ladies. Natalie, you want to try?
Yeah, I agree. And I definitely, if I could choose one, it would be simplicity. Yeah. Simplicity. How about you, Selvan?
Let me come off mute. So I have to agree with both the previous speakers here, but I just to add another flavor to this, it also depends on your circumstances as well. I think some people might be more entrenched in a particular platform than others, so you might want to consider that. There's also the cost of ownership too, and you might want to consider that too.
Cost of ownership. Thank you. How about you, Raghulan? What's your view?
Yeah, I mean, ease of use is always number one, but I would say that the other things are just seeing, which other companies in your industry or enterprises are using it. Validation is always important. The second thing also, I think, is just in terms of you want it as close to the experience they get in their personal lives as well. So, and I think, the biggest trend we're seeing is the consumerization of enterprise IT. So whatever people use in their personal lives, they really expect that same standard when they come to work.
I appreciate that. Kok Leong, do you have any more questions coming out from the guests? I believe there's a lot of questions popping up. Yes, I think we have another question from Vincent Chong, right? So in Malaysia SME environment, to use such technology, they prefer the most economical way to utilize it without buying more equipment. Therefore, which one will be the most preferred choice? So I guess maybe this one we let the neutral party, which is Lei Ping, to take on this question first, because I know Logitech will say that I'm a partner supportive all the platform here. So maybe it's okay, Lei Ping, you're in Malaysia.
No, I'm Lei Hong actually.
Lei Hong, sorry.
Yeah. So Vincent, I would still recommend Logitech because Logitech is a reputable brand in whole wide world, and it actually require very low cost to invest. And if you want to know more, please contact me. I can actually help you on that. Thank you.
Okay, so I just want to add some advice to this, right? So I'm actually using a high definition Logitech webcam. So I saw one similar to one of my friends also in the e-commerce industry last week. So the comment he gave to me is that using a webcam from your standard built-in notebooks versus what he experienced on the original webcam is completely different. So his short answer is that I can now see my company logo in the real gold color, not the fake color. So that was actually a user feedback. So I thought it's pretty good, that you make the difference of having a proper webcam and also a proper mic when you do video conferencing. I think it's important in the normal days where we all invest a lot in buying expensive shirts, dress to impress customers with a lot of face-to-face meeting. But today in this new normal environment, it's important to invest into the right video conferencing tools, be it both the software and also the hardware, to make sure we have the best experience when this is the only way we engage and to get business close, right? So I think this is the new normal today, right? The next question we have on the screen here, I think we have from Ms. Siu Lan, and QQ, based on the information presented, may I pose those questions to those panelists? Is Zoom paid services the only platform among Microsoft, Zoom, and Google Meet which have the KPI functions? Not too sure we get the question right, or any one of you gentlemen want to attempt to answer these questions? What are the KPI functions? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak to the others, but I think it's just just indicators of how the meeting performed. But yeah, I'm not completely sure on the question.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe this question you can try to retype again to be more crisp and more precise, so that we could try to attempt to answer your questions. Can we have the next question, please? So I think this is for Microsoft. I heard Microsoft is giving Teams for free during COVID-19. Is it true, and how to get it?
So yes, users can access Teams for free, and there is a link I actually shared. You can go to microsoft.com/Teams and you can sign up to it. Either you can sign up using your company ID, or you can sign up using a university or a school ID. If you are a student or a university lecturer, say. So you can get access to that. Alternatively, in most cases, customers that currently have any kind of Office 365 licenses already have access to Teams. So if you already have an Office 365 license, you have access to it. But if you don't, you can absolutely sign up for free.
Thank you, Selwyn. Next question, please. Yeah. I think looks like there's no further question coming out from the screen. May I just move on to maybe questions, right? So I want to ask the panelists here, especially the three software vendors, right? There's this freemium model versus the paid model. So I understand today you're offering a lot of freemium models right out there for either within a short period of time, or could it be just a limited functionality? So what is fundamentally for most SME user like us, right? Of course, we prefer the best for free. But is there fundamentally difference, and what kind of scalability as compared to a paid version versus a free version? Can you just elaborate it? Maybe we'll start with Natalie. Since
Yeah,
Google
sure.
just announced yesterday, yeah?
Yes. So with the free version, we are enabling all features of the premium version. So that is our enterprise SKU. We are enabling all the features up until September. Customers that don't So if you are using Meet for free on your Gmail license, you'll get up to 60 minutes for free. My understanding is that was listed on the blog post up until September as well. So I think there was a question before on bandwidth as well. There should be of no concern on bandwidth. Generally, quality is very good, and it does adjust, right? Like if your bandwidth is low, then quality sometimes will diminish on your video, but there will be no compromises from an audio perspective. And it's probably the same for the other speakers on the call as well for what they'd say.
Sure. Maybe Selwyn just want to pose this question from this gentleman, Jesus. He mentioned about, I hope all COVID tools has a built-in timer. So far, none of them has it. So is any of you want to have to address these questions? Yeah.
Yeah, I think and probably I speak from a personal standpoint as well, which is I think all vendors are trying to do the best to support enterprises and customers alike during these difficult times. So I don't think it's actually right to set a timer. That's my personal opinion. Microsoft doesn't have a timer per se, but we do have offers that is beyond Teams too, where we started with 6 months. But at the end of the day, I think we want to help our customers get through these difficult times.
Right. So maybe question over to Ragun. I understand that the free version of Zoom is always about 40 minutes, right? So you want to rush through a meeting to make sure you complete within the 40 minutes. So is there a reason why 40 minutes and not 1 hour or more, you know?
I can't speak to that, but generally the free version is similar to the pro version. 1-to-1, by the way, it's unlimited time still, but it's just for group meetings, it's a 40-minute cap. Apart from that, most of the other features are quite similar. We've got obviously the biz, and then we've got the enterprise version as well, which comes with even more features as well. But we find that the freemium is useful because a lot of people want to try it and get used to it before they make a decision on it. And we also, for enterprise clients and SME clients, work with them to do more POCs and more structured sort of trials as well. But we've grown from 10 million in January to daily participants to more than 300 million in April. So obviously, it's helped users get on and have something to use during this period.
Thank you. In the interest of time, I think we're going to take the last 2 to 3 questions before we want to do a closing speech. I think we have Dato already on the backstage waiting. I just want to maybe take the last 2 questions here. I think first and foremost, I think there's another one from Jidek Wong asking about, from a platform, could you elaborate any of the features is especially good for teachers, educators, for education? I think education is important today. Many students may, some even colleges or universities, I heard in Malaysia, they're actually announcing to study from home until this year end, right? And my son told me the same thing. The private school is doing the same thing. So I think this is particularly important. Is there any features that is particularly built for this reason? So maybe the 3 of you just want to very quick just elaborate on this area.
Yeah, so from a Google perspective, the best platform to be using is our Google Classroom. You can link that with Google Meet specifically, and there are already a lot of schools. Google Classroom was built for education, so there are already a lot of schools in ANZ and I know in Singapore as well that are using Google Classroom to hold tutorials and classes.
Right. Selwyn, you want to take on? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Firstly, let me speak to Teams. Teams is free for education. Any student, any lecturer can have access to Teams for free for life. The second thing is there's multiple tools besides Teams as well that's also available for educators. We have a OneNote capability that allows you to integrate classroom assignments into Teams. That's one. We've also got a product called Flipgrid that allows you to interact with students and staff over video as well, and that's also integrated into Teams. That's just 2 examples. There's many others.
Right. And any advice from Ragulan on your side from Zoom perspective? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, even though we're very strong with the enterprise, with large banks and enterprises, we actually have more than 90,000 schools globally using Zoom. For teaching, tens of thousands of teachers here in Singapore, in New South Wales, in Sydney, the Department of Education there is using Zoom as well. And I think it's just it's no different a platform to the standard Zoom, but I think it's just the ease of use, the ability to share your screen and annotate, the ability to have the whole classroom on one screen at one time in gallery view. So even if you had up to 49 people, you could see them all at once. I think that's what differentiates it and really gives it that extra benefit. Virtual background also helps because something extra that they can maybe use to break up the day.
Thank you. So I think that's one last question, which is very interesting question that was posed to me in person on the screen here from Jesus. Thank you for this very great question. I think let me answer this very, very professionally correct since I'm MNC trained, right? So because of neutrality, we have Google, we have Zoom, and we have Microsoft on the screen. We decided to use an alternate platform. Let's not name the platform for today to stream it across for today's reason. That's why Facebook Live was chosen for a last minute. Or partly also because of we expect to be almost a 300 live streaming. So the name of this software is actually StreamYard. We stream across. But I guess it's no difference. Hopefully the quality is good. But I guess they are pretty similar, right? So I hope I answered your question, Jesus. Right. Okay, I think that probably brings us to the end of the panelist session. I want to take this opportunity to thank you all panelists for spending your time here. We almost be here. Please stay on for a while. But before we let you go, I also want to take this opportunity to introduce our guest of honor, Dato' Wan Peng. Hi, Dato'. Thank you for joining us. I know you've been in the backstage for a while. Thank you for joining us. And you must be one of the very active users jumping in and out for every webinar meeting of late. So maybe you want to say hello and to our client, to all our guests in this call. Dato', you are muted. Can you mute? Dato', you are muted. Yeah, you need to switch.
I'm muted. So
yes.
See, because I'm jumping from one tool to another, sometimes the organizer will unmute me. Sometimes I have to unmute myself. So I'm still learning. But good afternoon, everybody. Yes, I do agree with you that I am such an active user, but I'm still not the most active user. And this MCO really caused us to do a lot more work because now you don't have to travel from one place to another. I'll share some of the experience with you later.
Sure. So with that, I think Dato' may want to share some perspective of what's MDEC initiative in actually sharing to the Malaysian economy. With that, I think we want to thank you all our previous panelists and before they move off to the backstage. Thank you very much, Lei Hong. I get your name correct this time. Natalie, Selwyn, and Ragulan. Please continue to stay on backstage. Thank you very much for being here today. Yeah, Dato', the stage is for you.
Thank you, Sunny. So I'm asked to give a closing, so I do have a speech prepared. But I mean, just to formalize this whole thing, because I believe that we have I heard that their FB page and all other people are logging in as well. So very good afternoon to everybody, our panelists, guests, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the fourth phase of our MCO, Imagine. And while Malaysia is going through this unprecedented time, the whole world is also experiencing the same scenario like what we are, obviously a different degree of severity. So I would say that now, if we follow the news, we can see that the world all over continues to do their best to reduce the infection rate of the COVID-19 pandemic and to find new ways to stop its contagious spread. And this is really, really important because without that, it's very hard for us to go back to the normal. Business around the world are now finding ways to remain sustainable in this new normal because to go back to normal that we used to be may not be, but we are all returning to the new normal. This also means that we are at the situation unlike anything anyone has ever experienced, at least for, I think, more than 99% of the people. And more so for businesses that are forced to shut down or lower operational capacity. At this moment, I think everybody is tallying the numbers. Nobody knows exactly what will happen. But one thing we can all say for sure is it's not going to be the same. So that is also why digitalization has become a necessity as companies try to maintain its business continuity. And in the past few years, you have heard MDEC and many agencies, plus I think all the panelists, has been trying to tell businesses that go digital, go digital. But most people will say that, oh, digital is not for me, or even though it's for me, I can still wait because, you know, I'm still okay. Customers still come to me. I can still sell. I'm still doing good business. But this sudden quote unquote shutdown has shown to us that the digitally prepared or digitally ready, or as better off for those who are already on digital platform, they can continue to do their business. For some of them, they can even increase. But for majority of the businesses, they are not. They are practically run out of businesses. The order may be cancelled, may be reduced, or may be postponed. So what does this mean? So part of this new normal that this COVID-19 pandemic brought about is how businesses can only engage customers digitally, as all of them now perform most daily activities online. Everyone, you and I, and also other people. Those that are quick to adapt will immediately thrive, or at least they can continue to survive, because the demand for digital and online services have skyrocketed over the last few weeks. You know, we did a simple check. As you know, we are also, as part of our digital economy initiative, we also try to get people to go on the cloud. So data cloud, the subscription rate has gone up between 300 to 700%. That is within weeks. And many people thought that the digitalization will happen in the next 5 years. We are saying that now 60 months of work is forced to be compressed and condensed in 2-3 weeks. That's what we are witnessing today. So the positive growth that the gig economy and digital content sector are now experiencing this growth. While most companies have made the critical transition, there are many more, including the public, and we'll say that some of the underserved that have no access nor the means to these digital services. Solution providers, therefore, must look into this and see what they can do to bring neighborhood businesses like, you know, our bubbles, auto repair shops, or hawker centers into the digital realm. Until a vaccine is developed, it is prudent that all must follow these new social norms, and we hear that, you know, in the next few weeks potentially the government may allow more people to go out and work, and I'm reading some news before this saying the SME may be allowed to start working. Well, this is well and good, but what we're learning from other countries, even in US, right? Well, many states are rushing to open up, but the business business owner themselves are not comfortable. That's number one. Secondly, the consumers are not comfortable coming out. There will be people coming out, but it will not be the same. Majority of the people will still prefer to conduct the daily activities, buying things online, and perhaps sort of delay certain thing, like maybe they will do the cutting their hair at home instead of going to the hair salon. There will be some people will go out, but majority of the people will not. We can also learn from what is happening in China. So like Wuhan, they said that back to normal, they opened on 8th of April, but until today, only half the business has started the operation. So these are reality that we all need to know. So I'm very, very, very excited to see that today you have this session. You show how to use these remote working tools. In MDEC, it's the same. I just want to share with you some experience. We were prepared even before the MCO, because we looking at what's happening outside of Malaysia. We thought this thing will happen, but it happened sooner than what we thought. And we also learned along the way. And we found that this kind of tools is really, really useful. You probably heard of some of the initiatives like PERDAS, Usahawan, and MDEC has been championing. And the interesting part is that since we cannot conduct real classroom training, which we used to do, even though we teach people digital tools, but we go to the classroom because we thought that that would be more effective way, especially many of the recipients, they are not digitally savvy. But you know what happened? 90% of the people who attended the classes are telling us that they prefer the digital tool. and we can actually make it very effective. That means using this kind of remote working tools like what you hear today, the Team, the Zoom, the Logitech and all, it is really changing the way we can do things. And what we also learn is we can reach out to more people using these tools. Maybe you go to a physical location, you may be restricted by the size of the room, but when you go digital, well, there's limitation, because you heard like Zoom may say that your license allow you to do 50, 100, the maximum 1,000, but we can do concurrent streaming. So, and then using this method, you can actually get a lot more people to participate. We are doing something next week that maybe I can promote. It's a Go e-commerce festival. We are targeting 500,000 people by concurrently using some interactive remote working tools for the webinar, like what we are doing now, plus streaming on like Facebook page and the rest, so that you can get more people to follow the discussion. And then those tools also allow people to ask questions. With a moderator, let's say we have someone like Sunny, then he can pick up all the necessary information and then conduct a very effective seminar and workshop along the way. So these are the things that I want to share with you, how MDEC is making use of digital tools during this challenging time. Sunny asked about some of the program that MDEC has. There are two MDEC SME support programs that I would like to share here. One is SME Digitalization Grant. I think many of you have heard about this. And this is something that we call, we partner with a bank, Simpanan Nasional and SME Bank. It was announced in the last year's budget. It's a budget 2020, and it was launched in February this year. Here we have lined up hundreds of technology service providers as the people who can help the SME to go digital. And each SME can apply up to 5,000 matching grant to start their digital journey. And you can go up to 3 solutions. Today we have 5 tracks. The 5 track has many different, like post, like e-post, like HR, like accounting and stuff like that. And we are talking about adding more, including the remote working into this, but this is still a work in progress. And I will encourage more people to go to the Bank Simpanan Nasional's website to start applying if you have not done so. The other one is SME Digital Quick Wins. This is something that MDEC has put together during this MCO, because we realize that some people may take longer to go for the full digitalization, but you want to get people started, like using the digital remote working tools. So one of the key things that we have seen, and the take-up rate is the highest, is actually remote working tools. And we are fortunate that many of our partners, including I think Zoom and Team, they're actually offering this for free, at least for certain type of usage. You can use this for free. So I encourage more people. I forgot Logitech, sorry. So more people should go in and start using this, because we desire this program to ensure that business can gain access to digital solutions instantly and be able to manage a business continuity. I stress business continuity is really important, because you cannot talk about reform or anything if you can't even survive. So that is what we have put in place. So I think very quickly that's what we have, and I just want to also share that as we enter or at the 4th phase of the MCO, there's a growing interest in what to expect once current restrictions are lowered. So we must keep in mind that the world will no longer be the same, and always remember it will no longer be the same. Therefore, businesses must always be ready for any form of disruption. And then you will ask, how will these expectations affect businesses at all levels? So, and therefore, on our part, we will continue our engagement with the technology and digital ecosystem to develop proactive responses and improve current initiatives that ensure these disruptions can instead create positive impacts. For instance, e-commerce is like booming now, and many people are, if let's say for whatever reason cannot continue what they used to do, e-commerce is an option for them to consider. And we also have something called Digital versus COVID movement that MDEC champion. This is an effort that where our primary focal point for the support that the tech and digital sectors have offered to help combat the COVID-19 pandemic. I encourage you to go to our website to take a look at what are the tools that you can use to help yourself. So what we have is including digital transformation capabilities. I'm reading from the list here so that I don't forget. What else? And free access to productivity tools as well as sustainability support. So please don't miss this opportunity. Go in and check what are the things available for you. So what does the future hold for businesses with how things are right now? Only time will tell us. But as business and government continue to learn and adapt in this transformative period, we can all learn together. But please do something to help yourself. I wouldn't even call it exciting time, but if you look at the opportunity to digitalize our business, this is a time for all of us to do something. And as we all learn to live, learn, play, communicate, and do business in the digital era, and things are changing in front of us, and we all have to learn to adapt. Thank you again for having me here, and to all the people out there, thank you for taking time to attend this webinar, and I hope that we can all thrive and recover and eventually reform moving forward. Thank you so much, and all the best to all of you. Sunny, I'm done.
Cut off. I could not do the ending just now. Sorry about that. And first and foremost, thank you once again, everybody, for spending your time today with us, particularly Dato and Natalie, Lei Hong, Selvan, and Ragulan, and also to all our guests who are attended today. Thank you very much. I think this is insightful information. I think let's start to adopt video conferencing and go digital to make sure we fight together to rebuild the Malaysia economy. And with that, we wanted to say officially we are ending the session here. And thanks again for everyone for joining. If you would like to continue to share this video and also to review it at the later stage, please continue to sign on to our Internet Alliance Facebook page and also in the YouTube. Please feel free to do so. Thank you very much once again, and you all stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you. Thank you again to all our speakers as well, and appreciate all your time here. Thank you. Bye.